What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages? If you haven't done so already, make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. Let me make sure if y'all haven't done so already, where we at? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time. So we're about to jump straight into it. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and make sure hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 second here. If you want to call in, let me get this call in number. I'm just having a late night conversation, and we're going to have a nice little call in. My call in number will be, I put the wrong call in number on the description box, so y'all be patient with me. It's going to be 657. I think that is 657 390 7056. So I put the wrong number, but here we go. I'm going to put at the bottom. So if you want to call in live, that's the number 657 390 7056. If you want to call in and have a conversation on this topic. So let me pull this up. Y'all know the topic is going to be why Americans, let me give you a story. Why Americans did not return back to work after the pandemic, right? Why is that, ladies and gentlemen? The other day, I was in King Supers, it's a grocery store, almost like your Kroger. And essentially what had happened, let me share the screen here. I want to share with y'all from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Again, if you want to call in live to have a conversation live tonight, I didn't expect nobody to be up this late at night. But the number is 657 390 7056. Y'all give me 1 second here. Let me share the statistic here from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Where are we at? Bureau of Labor Statistics right here. All right. So they put out a jobs report here lately. They put out the weekly jobs report, and they're talking about doing the jobs report, how, we're having a decline, not a decline, but workers are not returning at the rate we had once expected. The other day I was at the grocery store, and there I am sitting at the grocery store, and I saw somebody come up and say, "Hey, Prince, if you want," I saw somebody come up and say they had a shopping cart full of stuff, right? And essentially, what was crazy about it was the people did not have enough people to. They did not have enough people to man the cash registers. So the cash register, there was a bunch of cash registers open, and I was going through self checkout. So I just went through self checkout, got my stuff, and went on by my way. But there was people with shopping carts full of stuff, and the workers was like, "Hey, we don't have enough workers. We don't have enough workers to man the cash register, so you're gonna have to check out your stuff on your own." Now, it makes sense to do a self checkout when you have 10 items, 15 items, 15 or 20 items or less. But some people were like really grocery shopping for their families, and there was nobody at the cash register to check them out. And a lot of people said, "Hey, the reason why a lot of people are not, we don't have anybody at the cash register because we just can't find anybody to hire." And I've been seeing this over and over in my everyday life from restaurants that I kind of frequent and go to. Restaurants are cutting their hours. They're only allowing so many people because they don't have workers. You see in places like McDonald's jack up their prices to $18 an hour, $19 an hour in some parts of the country. And all of this was to say why Americans are not going back to work. Why is that? There's a couple of topics that I brought up that I said. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. Joyce, what's going on, Ms. Joyce? Glad to see you up late at night. Joyce, you up late at night? She's up late at night. If you want to call in and talk to me live tonight, it's 657-390-7056. That's the live number, but we're going to be talking about why Americans didn't go back to work after unemployment. People say, "Oh, Prince, I know why people are not going back to work. It's because of unemployment." People getting all these unemployment checks and stimulus checks. That's why they're not going back to work. Right? And I went back and said, well, okay, unemployment has now stopped. Why people aren't going back to work? So what Miss Joyce is saying here, let me blow this up here. She said, checkout, self checkout now is most places is not taking cash. That's true. Self checkout is fine if you got a couple items, but imagine if you had a whole shopping cart full of stuff and there are nobody to work the cash registers. You know, there are grocery stores saying we don't have anybody to work the cash register. So why is this? So what happened before the pandemic? All these people that was working at Walmart and fast food or whatever, why won't they go back to work? And if they're not going back to work, what are they doing? Some people said it's unemployment. Oh, they're getting those unemployment. Wait till those unemployment benefits to stop. But I'm not seeing that. What's causing that? What's going on, Max B? Up late at night. Shout out to everybody that's up late at night. I didn't expect nobody to be up late at night, but if you want to call in live and talk, y'all know the number. It's on the screen, 657-390-7056. I know I put the wrong number in the description box, and I truly apologize about that. But Max B said, he said, everyone has their own. Okay. Has their own what? Oh, their own reasons. Okay. Everybody has their own reasons. We're going to go over some of those reasons here too. What's going on there? What's your name there? Wildcard Central. What's going on, Wildcard Central? Thank you for rocking with me late at night. So here's the first thing. Let's go to the first thing. Some people said it was a culture shift. They're saying, well, Prince, back in the day, people raised hardworking people that didn't mind working for their money, that didn't mind working for their time. Now we got a bunch of lazy people who just want things handed to them. You know, is it a culture shift? That's what some people are pointing to. Hey, you know, back in the day, people would have been like, I would tell you this. My first job, as you guys and girls probably already know, my first job was Domino's Pizza. I made $5.25. I think I was like a sophomore or junior in high school. That was my first job. And I was happy to have that job. And the thing about it was, I got a raise to 6 cents, and man, you could not tell me nothing. It's like that Kanye West song playing in the background. I would play it, but I don't want to get sued. But that's how I was going, right? I was like, oh man, everybody is I'm making pretty good money doing this, right? So now you fast forward to where you have McDonald's is paying $18 an hour. What happened to all the people that's in high school and college? Why aren't they going back to work? Right? So is it a culture shift? Is it just that this generation is just lazy and don't want to work or whatever? I find that hard to believe, but some people are saying, hey man, you know, the culture is different now. I did an interview with y'all, as y'all know, on this platform, I interview a lot of CEOs of, you know, pretty big companies. And, you know, in the hotel industry, you know, when I interviewed Mr. Michael V. Roberts, he spoke about that at his hotel, that he had a hard time hiring people. He said people just don't want to work, you know. So then I look at my everyday life. People are having hiring problems across the globe. Why is that? Is it that just this new generation is lazy? I don't know. The next one I want to talk about that I'm going to get into is, could it be the vaccinations? Is it the vaccine? Is it that people don't want to get vaccinated? Is that the cause? But we're going to get into that in a second. Let me see what y'all saying in this comment box, this late night show here. Okay. Let's give a shout out to Dakota Johnson. What's going on, Dakota Johnson? He says, Prince, what's up from Virginia? What are your thoughts on companies now having to pay a lot more money per hour to entice potential employees to come work for them? Don't you think it's good? Or he's saying, do you think it's good? I think he meant to say, yes, it's a classic supply and demand, right? Supply and demand. So we already know there's always, in the investing world, and there's always a buyer and a seller, right? And in every business negotiation, there's an A side and a B side. The A side and the B side. So sometimes the A side is the buyer. Sometimes the A side is the seller. Sometimes the A side is most of the times the A side is the employer. Sometimes, like right now, the A side is the employee. So now you having a worker shortage, a workforce shortage, and people are saying, man, flipping these burgers and getting $5 an hour, and my rent is $1,000 a month, and I got to work overtime, working 3 jobs. They're saying, hey, I just won't do it. But the thing about it is, so they're saying, hey, I won't do it. So guess what? Supply and demand. So when supply is low, like right now, the workforce, human capital is low, and you have demand, it's high. Companies need workers. Guess what's going to happen? When supply is low, demand is high, prices go up. I.e., that's why McDonald's is paying $18, $20 an hour, right? So yes, when people compete, the middleman win. Everybody know that. When business compete, the customer wins. So I think it's a good thing. People are getting what they deserve. I think that it's the natural flow of what's supposed to happen. That's what you got to say, Dakota. Dakota says, at least the younger guy looking for his first time job, is not like these companies don't have the money to spare. Yes. It's I mean, I will have right now, if you got a driver's license, you could go drive trucks for Amazon. Right now, you can go flip burgers. Man, I would have killed somebody. I mean, not literally, but I really wanted a job in high school. I wanted to have my own. I needed my own gas money. I needed my own school clothes money. I wanted to just have my own. I just didn't want to be relying on my parents all the time. So, man, I was looking for jobs like this. You had to kind of get lucky to get a nice little job. And, even though it wasn't paying much, I was happy to have that job. So if you're someone in high school, if my son was 16 years old right now looking for a job, man, he would be in hog heaven, because, every fast food joint is looking for someone. Every restaurant, some of my favorite restaurants, they're telling me, man, I can't keep a worker, or my workers won't come back, but my question is, well, what are they doing? What, and that's what we're going to get into some of this conversation, because we all know people don't like to go into a 9-to-5, but they do it. Why do they do it? Because they got bills to pay. So, but those bills are still there. What are these people doing now? What's going on? What's happening? If you want to talk about it live, you can call in to 657-390-7056. All right. Let me see what y'all say in the comments. All right. I'm surprised y'all up. Shout out to everybody that's up this late at night. I didn't think everybody would be up this late at night. So right here, my guy Max B, what did he say? He said, also, I feel people figured out how to make money from home. Got to give you a gem for that. Got to give him a gem for that. People figure out a way to make money from home. So now let's go into what the third topic that I was going to see. Now, people was talking about the vaccinations. People said, oh, because people don't want to get vaccinated. They don't want to go back to work because the company may force them to get vaccinated. They may not like the vaccination. And I disagree with that in my personal opinion. I don't have any statistical data to back that up. This is my personal opinion, because, people have been forcing you to get the flu shot for how long, or all these types of vaccinations, and people have been doing it. Before the pandemic, that wasn't a big thing. People went in, they didn't care about getting vaccinated, but vaccinated or not, you still got bills to pay. How are you paying your bills? All right. So we're going to get into the next topic here, the rise in entrepreneurship. This goes what Max B just said about people finding out how to make money on their own. Now, when you talk about the rise of entrepreneurship, some people saying, people learning how to start businesses, people having access to start businesses, people are getting on their own now, which is very true. You got people making money off of Facebook and YouTube and sponsorships and all type of ways people are making money nowadays, and they're doing it from home. Now you can play. My dad used to criticize my brother and I for playing video games all day, but now you can get paid for playing video games all day. Sometimes you could get paid for podcasts, you could get paid for YouTube, you could get, some people are selling merchandise, t-shirts, all type of things. So the rise of entrepreneurship, more people have access to entrepreneurship, but I don't have any statistical data to say like, hey, you know what? Because of the pandemic, everybody learned how to become entrepreneurs. I don't know. Because we know entrepreneurship is one of the toughest occupations to have. So it's easy to become an entrepreneur. It's hard to become a successful one. I won't say it's easy to become an entrepreneur. It's not as difficult to become an entrepreneur, but to become a successful one. So overnight, everybody became successful entrepreneurs. That's what y'all saying? Let me see what y'all say in the comments. I'm gonna get back to that. Dakota Johnson's, he said, I also look at a lot. He said, I also look at, okay, I'm going to read this again. He said, I also think that a lot of these older guys, late 20s, 30s, are finding out they can do the same job from home. That's true. That's a fair fact. But if you can do the same job from home, why companies can't hire you? Because a lot of companies are allowing people to do virtual. So let's say the lower income jobs. What happened to that market? Why did that market drop so fast? The low income jobs, like fast foods, restaurants, hotels, Six Flags, leisure, things like that. Why did that happen so fast? Why did that just dry up? Why did that market just evaporate? And now that the pandemic is kind of, we're going in a downturn, however you want to look at it, and these companies are still struggling. Now, this has a lot to do with the economy, because how can an economy get back on track if it doesn't have workers? Workers are the most important, right? So even if you're working from home, that means you're still at the job, but why not go back to work? Wild Card Central, what's going on? Wild Card Central said, I'm a junior in high school as well. I would like to know how to get interviews from CEOs on my channel. I will be glad to have an interview with you too. Oh, snap. Okay, Wild Card. Wild Card, you know how to get in contact with me. Let me give you my email address. My email address is prince@childrenfinancialliteracy.org. I'm going to put it up in the description box. You can just shoot me over an email. And I'm going to break that down to you. I'm going to tell you, you say, how can you get interviews with CEOs and stuff like that? Let me see here. FIN. I'm going to deviate from the concept and the topic a little bit. I'll type it in. Y'all give me a second as I type my long behind email address in. I'm going to put this on. What's your own Wild Card? Wild Card, is this your YouTube channel that you're on right now? Okay, I just put it in the chat. That is my I just put in the chat. That is my email. I'm going to put it up here, right here. Prince@childrenfinancialliteracy.org. Prince@childrenfinancialliteracy.org. See, for prime example, look at Wildcard Central, who is 20 years old, right? Look at Wildcard Central, who is a junior in high school. And this guy's interviewing people already, right? When I was a junior in high school, I didn't have the access or the resource. I had the internet. I had a little website, but I didn't have the resource. Now you got social media, all these things like that. So Wildcard Central, send me an email, prince@childrenfinancialliteracy.org, with all your details and stuff like that. Now you asked me the question. You said, Prince, how can you interview CEOs and stuff like that? Well, I will say this. I started doing YouTube, Facebooking and YouTube and stuff back in 2013. It wasn't even cool really back then. I didn't start interviewing until like 2016 or something. But in the very beginning, I reached out to some people that I ran across that I had a lot of respect for. I just, oh, wow, I know this guy. I seen him on television, so let me DM him. And that kind of got me my first ever interview. Now, no. What happened? My first interview was Clyde Anderson from CNN. He had a show on CNN at the time, a financial show. And what happened was I released my first book in 2015. He just DM'd me one day out of the blue and just said, hey, man, you need any help with anything? Let me know. I was like, wow. I said, hey, can I get an interview? He said, yes. At that time, I had never interviewed anybody. So I interviewed him in Atlanta in person, right? And when I interviewed him in Atlanta in person, that was my first ever interview, followed by Miss Tyra Jackson. So shout out to them. So I will say this now, the podcasting and social media game has changed so drastically that now all you have to do is create your platform, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, whatever you like to get onto that. And I will say, once you have a platform and you put out good quality, what you need to do is what you need to do once you have a platform with good quality. There are a lot of platforms. There are a lot of PR agents that have platforms. There are PR agent platforms out there. I can't remember their name in particular, but there are. Of course, everybody wants to call my phone right now. Wants, but there are, and pretty much you can apply. Like what happened with me was a lot of PR companies reached out to me. PR companies started to reach out to me saying, "Hey, would you like to join my platform?" Or it would just be company. I mean, the PR people just started to reach out to me saying, "Hey, I represent this company. We'd love to do an interview." And that's how it kind of happened for me, to be honest. It was just organic. But now I know there are PR platforms that connect podcasters to influencers or something like that, influencers to companies. And you go in there, you put in your information, and then PR companies can reach out to you. But with me, majority of interviews that y'all see done on this platform are from the people requesting to be here. And shouts out to them for requesting to be here on this platform for an interview. I guess they think I'm a cool guy or something. But yeah, it just kind of grew organically. Like the first interview I asked for, and then I asked for a couple people that I knew, maybe had a tie to or connection, did a good job with them, and it just kind of grew. Just I used to ask for stuff. I still do ask for interviews, depending on who it is, if I'm interested in the person. But a lot of it comes from people reaching out to you. So, what my best advice to you is to get your platform, create content, interview people. Right? They don't have to be the biggest you don't have to go out there and interview Bill Gates or something. You ain't got to go that far. I mean, if you can, good on you, but just start talking on the microphone. And don't my advice is I wouldn't build my platform off of interviews. First, build the platforms off of, like, take me right now. It is 12:30 in the morning and on the East Coast. It's 10:30 in at night here in Denver, Colorado. And here I am. I'm just on live. I'm talking. You guys and girls are tuned in across the globe, right? I appreciate that. So build your own platform, your own name, get that microphone time. Then slowly just start to do little small little interviews requests. Just do a request. Then if you find somebody you want or you like, go to their website. Every website has a contact us. Go to their Instagram. A lot of people have their email address and phone numbers on their Instagram. Go to their Facebook. A lot of people have their connections right there. And then come set yourself up an email. Tell them who you are. Tell them what your demographic is. And always be a servant. Always make yourself like, hey, you find out what motivates that person, that CEO. Did that CEO just write a book that they want to sell? Does that CEO, what can you help them do? You know, does that CEO want to market their new product? You can say, hey, maybe I can help you with that marketing that product, and then just reach out to people. That's what you need to do. That would probably be my best advice. But I mean, I'm not some guru or nothing like that. How it happened to me was more organic. You know, I get a lot of emails. I get a lot of emails from companies just pitching themselves to come sit down and talk on this platform. And it's due to you guys and girls that tune in. They look at my Instagram and Facebook or whatever, my podcast, and they say, wow, people listen to and tune into this guy. I want to talk to his audience. So to be honest, it has nothing to do with Prince Dykes. It's nothing to do with Prince Dykes that he's a cool guy, a cool girl. They're they know my topic, and I think it has more to do with you guys and girls. They want to talk to y'all. I'm just a platform for people to talk to you guys and girls. You know, that would be my advice. You know, I don't know no super duper Jedi mind trick. I wasn't born into money, and my dad is a celebrity, and my brother is an NBA player, and my sister's an actor, and she knows people. I don't have none of that. Zero. Right. My only positive is me serving in the military and moving around. And by moving around, I got a chance to go some places and put myself in some positions to maybe ask some people some things. And some people say, hey, yeah, let's do it. We sit down, we do it, make it happen, we move on. So yeah, that's my way right there. Here it is. Let me see what else y'all say in the comments. Hopefully I help you out, Wildcard Central. Yeah, shoot me that email. What else we got here? Who else we got in here? What's going on there? Real Deal Financial. Big salute. Real Deal Financial. What's going on, my gal? Real Deal Financial is in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Big salute back to you, man. Rome says, this is a start of a new idea coming into the world. It's time for a transition. Okay, that's true. But this transition, how are people eating? Let's say if I worked at McDonald's and said, man, this place sucked. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not getting unemployment. How am I going to feed my family? What are people doing? Rome, what do you think? Real Deal Financial said, I would love an interview. I would love to interview you as well. Real Deal, what's going on, man? Oh, okay, sure. Shoot me an email. Y'all know my email, Prince at, I don't know why y'all want to interview me for, man. I ain't nobody. Well, yeah, shoot me an email at prince@childrenfinancialliteracy.org. I think I put it up here. There it is. Real Deal Financial. Shoot me an email, man. Childrenfinancialliteracy.org. Prince@childrenfinancialliteracy.org. If you want to call in live right now, where's my live tab at? Make sure I'm not missing anything. You want to call in live right now tonight. Everybody scared to call in? The number is 657-390-7056 if you want to call in live to have a little conversation, talk about whatever. Real Deal Financial said, no. Okay, this is your channel. Okay, cool. Let me subscribe to your channel. What's that? Wildcard Central? Look up your channel real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to your channel. Let's see here. Wow. There we go. Wildcard Central. Look at that. I am subscriber number 100. Wildcard Central. I am subscriber number 100. You know, just subscribe to your channel. All right. Oh, okay. 1 second. We got a live call in the building. Let me see. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
Real Deal Financial. This is Jonathan.
Real Deal Financial. What's going on, my guy? Hey, man, thanks for calling in. Where you calling in from?
Las Vegas.
Oh, you're in Las Vegas. Okay, nice. What's up, man? What you got on your mind?
No, man. I was just pretty much just looking at who is up, man. I saw you. I said, yo, let's see what he's talking about. But,
okay.
Brad, what do you think about the infrastructure bill?
Oh, the infrastructure
situation. Mm-hmm. Is that a stalemate or?
No, I think that, right now we have President Biden is a Democrat. It already passed the Senate and it's going to the House, right? And let me put this on here so everybody knows. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
You're a better fundamental trader, man. I'm pretty much the real estate guy. I pretty much help contractors and developers in the area.
Okay. How old are you?
Builders. 25.
25. Okay, nice. Real good. Okay.
Just turned 25 too.
Nice. Okay. No, I think I look at the infrastructure bill and how it's going. It already passed the Senate. It's going to the House, the last that I saw and heard. And the House is ran by Democrats. And I think the Democrats are going to pass it on to the president to be signed. Say again?
By budget reconciliation next year, or you think they're going to get Manchin and a couple other people to side with them?
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to pass. Because, it's bipartisan. The Republicans and Democrats are in it. I think it's going to pass. I haven't seen too many people running against it too funny. So I definitely think it's going to pass. I think it's going to push a lot of money into the economy. I think
most definitely.
Oh yeah, so I definitely can see. I'm looking, Go ahead.
I'm looking at your channel, and you're pretty much a strong fundamental trader. You didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to say that right there.
Okay. Yeah,
You need to,
definitely when you look at the fundamentals of it, you're looking at a lot of companies, construction companies. I think a lot of construction companies in a way, electronic vehicles, building
mm,
roads. I forgot what the company was called. I did a show on it too. NUC. So the government, once they pass that bill, that $1 trillion plan, they're going to pass that money off to states, and the money's supposed to go to companies because the government is not going to build a road. They're going to hire somebody to build a road. So people who are in that ecosystem of making gravel, concrete, water, stuff like that, or whatever, who know how to make roads, they're going to do very well. And I wish myself that I was in the road making business. So, so no, I definitely think it's going to
yeah,
pass, and I
man.
think definitely it's going to push a lot of money in a into the economy. I don't think it's going to be overnight, but the companies that are in position are going to have a good chance to make some money there.
So pretty much just be on standby. Just be on standby.
Oh yeah, and I don't know. I
Okay.
think that marijuana may see first, second quarter next year. I think they might see
Yeah, yeah,
it might finally get legalized.
yeah, man. Because I was looking at other companies involving of pretty much the infrastructure of plastic bottles,
Hmm.
plastic containers. Looking at breathalyzer test when it comes to weed involving 14 states. It's small penny stocking. And once again, this is not financial advice.
Hmm.
EVIO.
Okay.
Pretty much had a good day, which I know you're not a person of penny stocks, but I did the research and I found out that this company is pretty much getting approved when it comes to police departments. So New York is
Mm,
about to legalize it in 2022 as well, if I'm not mistaken.
okay. Marijuana or what is that?
Marijuana, the
Okay.
the full legalization, if they haven't already, I think New Jersey,
Hmm.
Oakland, and the city of Oakland has already gave marijuana dealer grants. So
Nice.
grants, and I think it's a lottery as well. So um, I think it's an opportunity, man. I'm just scared that I just don't want things to get stallmated, man. I don't want things just to be forgotten.
Yeah, I jumped on the marijuana bandwagon earlier this year once Biden won, and I thought like, oh man,
Hmm.
they're gonna legalize marijuana, and nothing happened.
Okay.
All of a sudden, we went to
Yeah, man.
infrastructure. So, have you ever heard of Greenland Holding?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so Greenland Holding, GNLN, their CEO will be back on Tuesday.
Okay.
So their CEO will be back on Tuesday. He's gonna be talking about this conversation right here. We did an interview before, but it was a little choppy. So Nick, his name is Nick over there. He because Greenland brought Kush Company Holdings, and they got a market cap of almost about 300 million right now. So this same exact conversation, we're gonna be having it with Greenland Holdings CEO to see what he thinks about it, and he thinks that first quarter next year is when we're going to see a major shift on a federal level in marijuana.
They better do something. But looking at the charts, GNLN has a good, strong 23% uptrend.
Mm,
Everything is pretty much somewhat like a stock reversal,
mm,
plus
okay.
it having a big, the big run up of the start of the inauguration date, and a crash tapering down. But it's good. It's good to hear because the lobbyists need to win when it comes to this.
Okay.
Somebody needs to make sure that they actually get something written and fully constructed with a good deployment plan. So I'm just hanging in there tight, man, because it didn't look good for certain weed stocks after a while.
Okay. And this is the thing. Tell me what you think about this. I look at
Yes,
the
sir.
world of marijuana. I say Ray Charles can see from his grave that marijuana is going to be a big thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Ray Charles can see from his grave. It don't take a
Oh
rocket
yeah,
science to
Papa
figure it
Ray.
out.
Yeah, Papa Ray definitely knows. Papa Ray.
And think about it, right? As an investor, I know this race is going to win. I'm just trying to find the right horse to ride. I just don't want to be in the
Yeah,
right race with the wrong horse. That's all.
I agree.
That's that. I'm like, hey, it doesn't take a rocket science to say that eventually this will become legalized. Eventually, this will become big business. We kind of know this is going to
Mm,
happen, but how do I invest? How do I find who's, because I personally believe about 70% of the pot stocks are going to wipe out. I mean, but that happens in
mm,
everywhere. That happens everywhere. You know, most fast food joints wipe out, most restaurants wipe out. People that want to go to the NBA, NFL, 70, 90% of them wipe out. So, I know that they're going to wipe out, right? I'm just trying to
mm,
figure out, how do I pick the right horse? How do I pick that needle in the haystack? So I've been trying to find somebody because I can't look at the fundamentals because pretty much all the marijuana companies, none of them are profitable. All of them fundamentals kind of stink at the time. But I'm
mm.
like, well, who's going to be the good horse? Who's your horse?
Well, well, to be honest, I'm looking at Sundial. I'm looking at SNDL, and people would say, why is that? But I'm looking at pretty much who are they affiliating themselves with, conversations, looking at rumors, um, ticker tape marketing, pretty much just scanning the whole entire internet for any type of news articles. So I
Mm-hmm.
pretty much hired teams. I got in
Mm.
contact with a couple people. I said I need some type of automated tool to be able to scan the entire internet when it comes to news, rumors, who's connected with who.
Mm.
But a lot of the times, when the fundamentals, like you said, when companies are just the whole sector is just weak, finding who is connected when it comes to a merger. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding on to Kush bottles, Sundial. I got the medical marijuana ETF. I'm holding on to MJ, Canopy Growth. But like you said, I'm gonna have to start either trying to find people more in the inside because my method is pretty much just automated tools, just scanning the entire internet.
Internet. Okay. Because I
So
was,
like data mining.
oh, yeah. Because I was looking at dropping MJ and going
Okay.
with the GNLN. Like, I'm like, hey, do I want to get this or do I just want to pick me a horse? Because MJ, that's the
Well,
entire marijuana
that's the
ETF.
sector.
Because you're probably going to make money, when it goes up, but you're really going to make some money if imagine if Greenland done something good and went up. I think they had like $3 as of Friday when they closed. They have a
Mm,
tremendous upside.
mm.
You know. So let's see. We got a
So
comment here. Rome in the comments says, "I will look at companies that sell the." Oh, he said they sell the soil or chemicals to those big companies. He said if there are any way, he said if there are any in the market, he said the people that sell the chemicals and things like that to the companies. The thing about when I look at certain companies, right?
mm,
Anytime you're successful, there's always going to be two things that's guaranteed to come along. One, people that hate you. Two, people that's going to copycat you. So, real deal financial, you go in there and you come up with a new technical analysis tool and you show
mm,
everybody how to do it. Guess what? Now the investor show is doing it. Now this show is doing it. Now it's Bloomberg is doing it. Yahoo Finance, CNBC, everybody is going to be doing it when it becomes successful. So right now, somebody says, "Hey, I sell the chemicals to big marijuana companies." When somebody see you have success in that, what is your competitive advantage?
okay.
Like what? Like for prime example, I thought that was pretty cool. Coming on next Wednesday is the CEO of a company where what this company does is it has drones that waters farmers' land. They set up drones and the drones go around and water the land and it takes images and give crops reports, all type of stuff, right? And I said,
Mm,
wow, that sounds pretty cool. Agriculture, we all going to be eating. We grass, crops need to be watered. We all got to eat. That sounds pretty cool. My question is, and he's open to investors right now. My question is, what are you going to do when Tesla finds out and starts to mimic you, or Microsoft? That's one of my things. Like, what is your you always heard Warren Buffett always refer to this as moat. Like, what is your moat? Like, what makes you? That's one of the hard things to find in that marijuana company space is that, who is that thing that can't be duplicated? Like, we all can make a cheeseburger, but we're not McDonald's. That's one of my
Mm.
things too. That looking
Well,
at,
that's what happened.
go ahead.
Well, that's what happened when it came to these market makers in Wall Street getting all these martingale trading robots.
Mm,
One company that did get it, they got a big home run hit off of extreme high leverage, high risk, big boom, boom bust, pretty much boom bust cycle bots, I call them. But then other companies start doing it. Then the market making business, they're saying that it's still active, it's still there, but automating trading bots have to get more sophisticated because it's not as interactive and how can I say self-aware.
mm. So it doesn't have that human touch.
Yeah, it doesn't have the human touch, man, because it just goes off the straight numbers, which the non-emotional aspect does help,
Hmm.
but certain times an emotional aspect got to insert himself.
True.
Somebody that's actively monitoring. It can't be totally automated. It has to have at least some type of ability for someone like you to be able to say, "Hey, the news, the
Mm,
news." You're pretty much going off of the basis of news, uh, news-based type of trading instead of technical analysis and trigger points and momentum trading and searching volumes and pretty much damn near day
mm,
day trading candlesticks. So that moat is gone. So
mm,
one person, like you said, one person do it, one another person gets it, other person get it. Goldman Sachs, uh, Deutsche Bank, they do this with forex all the time.
hmm.
So
And that's one thing I see, in the forex market. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, this is foreign exchange. You can see it sometimes in option trading, anything, day trading, essentially, anything that's in day trading. This is my premises is that long term, I think the investor will win long term. But I think in the short term, of course, the day trader will win because they will find pockets to make money when the investors just kind of waiting dollar cost averaging. But it's my belief that the market is made for the long term investor to win and to kill the day trader. That's what I honestly could think about it, right? Now, so many people
yeah,
say they got the secret sauce to day trading, and I do know one or two people I can put my finger on and say, yeah, they got it. But if everybody can just open up their laptop or pull out their iPad and just day trade away on penny stocks or whatever, Wall Street would go bankrupt, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If I
Wall Street.
mean, I see on social media all the time, everybody say, "Hey, I day traded this, I day traded that, I day traded that," and I think that a lot of people are showing their wins; they're not showing their losses.
They're not showing the other strategies, man. Like when it
Hmm.
comes to option trading, when I do option trading, man,
Hmm.
I got the call spreads, I got bear puts, I got iron concords. It's
Hmm.
not just one
Strategy.
set strategy. Like, come on, bro. We gotta we gotta
It's,
be more diversified and be
mhm.
more truthful to the people.
So, real death,
You know,
tell me about yourself. Where did you come from, man? What got you into this?
man, 15 years old, man. My
Nice.
sophomore year in high school, doing baseball and basketball, and I realized that I'm not going to be an athlete. For one, I'm not really that healthy.
You're
I'm
not
not
that healthy.
healthy.
What do you mean you're not that healthy?
When it comes to sports, I had a concussion, had torn ACL, just pretty much, from sports, just a toll. and doing just high school sports. Everybody's competing
Mm-hmm.
for NFL spot or a college spot to get to the NFL. And once I messed up my leg, I said, "Yo, I need to focus on what is going to be the next strategy." Because one, uh, college definitely wasn't on the table. Two, I have a family that actually cared and actually believed in me, so I pretty much had seed money. Used the seed money when it came to the stock market. Had my father pretty much trade for me. Got a couple of good wins,
Mm.
but I realized that okay, I got to perfect this because I got lucky.
Mm.
So Prince, I got very lucky. I just told my dad to buy 12, a list of 12 stocks. That was pretty much biotech. Out
Mm.
of the 12, three of them won.
Wow.
So that was like at age 15, age 18. I start my own credit repair business, plus start getting involved when it comes to wholesale real estate. So pretty much stocks is not a full-time thing, but it's literally something I'm always actively interested in the markets. I'm interested in economic structures, economic dynamics. Like right now, we're in a multilateral economic dynamic where it's pretty much globalism,
Mm-hmm.
multilateralism, multi-trade agreements that's very diversified and wide instead of the populist in-house type of how can I say trade structure. So right now, it's pretty much based off of one, the technology stocks. It seems like they're going to always win.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I always had an interest in it very early. So an injury made me focus on all these informations early. So I was looking at Chinese stocks when people say don't even touch them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
People still people still say they don't touch Chinese stocks, but yeah, man. When the crash of 2008, I saw my family pretty much got away scot free. Where they father retired at the right time, sold
Mm.
the house before the crash crumbled. Um, so really, that made me think about economics when I started like getting out of high school and I started saying, okay, I pretty much understand that the stock market is based off of a lot of structure that's needed. People's retirement is in here. Um, you know, annuity plans that's connected to the stock market. Everything is pretty much connected to the stock market. So yeah, Prince. So it's been 10 years and I've been focusing on this and
Nice.
still going. So
Okay.
I don't know, man. I just saw your channel like about 5 years ago, 4 or 5
Wow.
years ago on the sly.
Wow. 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago, sir. The
Wow.
funny part about it is I wasn't mainly paying attention to you. I was mostly paying attention to, I think it was either Kiyosaki,
Mm-hmm. Oh, probably Wolf of Wall
um,
Street, maybe.
Jordan.
Jordan
Yes, it
Belfort.
was either Jordan. Yes, it was Jordan. So I was pretty much looking at that, but I was still subscribed to you, and you started live streaming. I'm like, oh, my man actually got good information by himself.
Mm.
I said, okay. So I recommended all my channel subscribers to your channel. So yeah,
Nice.
to make a long ass story short,
Mm-hmm.
while still being long,
Yeah, go ahead.
long-winded. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, man.
Well,
Your
so what do you?
channel
Well,
definitely
so what is
provides
it?
motivation to me, man.
What is it that you like about the channel?
I like the fact that one, you're a serious person where it's based off of news articles, fundamentals, strong, concise, how can I say, very, very concise type of messaging.
Mm-hmm.
So everything pretty much in your channel is very structured when it comes to information, the sources, and also looking at other analysts. Plus, you interviewed Warren Buffett, man. You know, you you interviewed Warren Buffett, man. You pretty much got good connections, and I respect that, man. got
Oh,
really
okay.
good connections of who you manage to interview. So really, it's something to respect. It's something to respect, friends. You need your roses now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was telling somebody that the other day. I
You
was
need to
like,
stop being hard on yourself, Prince. You need to stop being hard on yourself, though.
yeah, I see people say that. I always, I always say, hey, um, I don't know. I guess some people look at something. Maybe I look at the world different. You know, yeah, Kiyosaki. I don't know. Some people, I don't know, some athletes to Kiyosaki to Buffett to I don't know, Wall Street people, CEOs of different companies and past, present, actors, actresses, whatever, right? And
Mm.
I don't know. I don't really put a whole lot of value on it. I mean, I think the mission that I have in my head is that I want to do and that I want to accomplish before I leave the earth. That kind of dwarfs everything else that I've done, I would say, if that makes sense. But you know what? Let me ask you this question here. We got some
Okay.
comments coming in. I want to see what you think about these comments. Max B, my guy, he said the marijuana industry will be hard to pick any good companies if anyone can legally grow their own. If anyone can legally grow their own products, needed to grow would be best way to go. Okay, so he's saying that if people are going to be able to grow their own products, it's going to be hard to find a company. He said the way to go is to find the stuff that people need in order to grow. What do you think about that?
That's good. That's actually similar to the gold rush mentality of don't invest inside the rush, invest into the materials surrounding the rush. So that's also, I'm not against it.
Mm,
Um, Definitely need to find out which companies that do have soil rights. That's definitely some homework that I need to research.
mm-hmm,
That not soil rights. Pretty much what you mentioned about licensing partnerships.
mm-hmm,
Really, to be honest, the real news and research and rumors is finding out who are these people political donors,
mm.
or are they connected? Because that's what I did with St. George's Eco Mining Company. That's like a long-term play for me. So that's Paul Pelosi Jr. connected to the Pelosi family.
Pelosi, got it.
So
Okay.
that's pretty much what I would research on it. So if the companies that does sell surrounding products, good, great. Search if they have any political connections as well, because they could probably, rub a few elbows and get certain things done with a streamlined, how can I say, a streamlined process where they can be able to get things done way quicker than a company that's waiting for a 3 to 5 year horizon, pretty much waiting for everybody else to get put on by the mainstream uh, legislation. So people that are connected with politicians, I try to research that as well, because a lot of we companies are connected to a lot of these people that are in Congress. So um, it's really up to see if they're going to do budget reconciliation in these upcoming 3 years
Mm-hmm.
to legalize weed. But
Yeah, because they say, hey, you legalize, and people like, man, I'm gonna just grow my own stuff in my backyard, crumble it up, and smoke it myself. Why am I gonna go down to the local dispensary? You
a
know,
lot of people are lazy though.
you know what? I
A
can
lot of
make my own.
people,
You're right. I can make my own salad, but I'd rather
a
go to
lot of
Chick-fil-A
people,
and get it.
yeah, yeah. Man. A lot of people can't even make it with the proper potency to be able to make it satisfiable as well. Also think about that as well. So it is a good alternative, more like a good hedge to invest in the supply companies, um, any type of lighting companies, so weed lighting companies. Um, I'm looking at solar panel companies that are
Mm,
connected with
marijuana.
weed companies as well. So really, solar integrated roofing company. Those situations, they're trying to get an acquisition when it comes to weed warehouses as well. This is
Okay.
not financial advice. It's
Oh yeah,
just something
definitely.
research.
Yeah, I always tell people none of this is financial advice. I don't want anybody saying, hey,
No.
I know some people will read my title and say, he said buy Bitcoin. Goodness gracious, I'm just doing a tutorial, man. So, but I want to ask you another one. This one is coming from Unpopular Thought says day trading is hard because of market manipulators. Swing trading is easier. Buy, you can lose cash as quickly as you make it. What do you got to say about that?
Ye- Yeah, man, day trading is hard, man. That's why I always tell people that, if you're gonna day trade, you probably have to be one of them people on the TV show Billions where they got like that high frequency trading.
Yep.
Oh, God,
Well, because
you know.
the thing about day trading is, I mean, anybody can get in there and make money, right? Forex, options, stocks, we all can get in there and make money. The thing about it is being consistent. Consistent going in and out the market every single day and pulling money out the market or netting a win at the end of the year. Because, like I said all the time, if it was just that easy and everybody was doing it, then stock market would be broke right now. You know. And then we got
Oh,
Rome
so
here. Rome says, I agree with him. I think he's talking. Yeah, he's talking about you. He said, I agree with him. It's hard to find information from a great source. This is why I am subscribed. Shout out, Rome's. What's going on, Rome? Okay. All
but
right.
yeah, man, when it comes to um the, pretty much market manipulators and stuff like that. Uh, to be honest, in my opinion, I think the market is like consolidated, like sideways,
Mm-hmm.
because even if it does go down, it goes up and it goes down, and it's not necessarily the consistent 3 to 4 weeks of consistent just power surge, just a bull run where you got like 30, 40 bulls just charging, knocking over gates. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
consolidated market. Me personally, on my personal plays, and once again, this is not financial advice. I got Treasury bonds, 20-year, 10-year, 3x bull, and I like 3x leverage ETFs.
Okay. What type of leverage
Definitely not
ETFs do you
recommended.
like?
Definitely not recommended. Let
Yeah.
me say that. Definitely not recommended. That is just on the strength of me just try to be able to get some treasury bonds just in case when the stock market gets crushed. And I notice when tech stocks are down, treasury bonds are up. And if treasury bonds are down, the same in reverse. So I don't know if that correlation is going to keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
But the Chinese bear Yang has done wonders for me. 6 months of a Chinese bear market of China just
Mm.
cracking down on companies. That's
Oh,
pretty
so you
much
got
been a
that.
win.
So you got the Chinese bear. Okay.
So that's a 3x, and that's why a lot of people say no, 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 no. I get it because they say when it comes to leverage decay, so it rebalances the direction rebalances every single day.
Okay.
So it's definitely not recommended. When it comes to that, I think people should look
Mm-hmm.
look at the options, not options, but option of knowing how to bet against the stock, bears situations, you know, pretty much being more diversified of understanding, how can you be able to win when this thing does crash, if it does crash. But that's my last question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this bad boy is going to crash? Do you think it's uh, going to be happy sailings until what interest rates raises up?
Yes. Yeah. I think we are. Hold on one second here. Let me see what they got to say here in the comments right here. Joe J says, let me read this comment here. Then I'll get into your question. Sorry about that, y'all. It says, been watching for years, and I can also, let me see. Okay, attest. That's what the
Okay.
word said. Yeah. He says, been watching for years, and I can also attest that your channel is one of the best. You stay logical and you are explanations to have a way of explaining concepts so that anyone can understand. Okay. I should just read. Okay. Appreciate that, Joe. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Joe. Definitely appreciate the work the work, you know. I mean the nice words, that's what keeps me going and stuff like that. So definitely. So do I think the stock market is going to crash within the next year, not this year? Um I think if we're talking about all the major indexes, no.
Mm.
No. This is why. This is a mistake I made back in 2008. 2008 stock market crashed, right? I said, "Oh crap." Everybody said, "Man, this is the best time to buy." I was so young at the time. I was probably about somewhere about your age, real deal. I was like, "Okay, the stock market crash. It's going back up now." You know, it started to go back up. But instead of me thinking, "Oh, it's up from here. We're about to go into a bull market," I was waiting on the next crash. Because that wasn't the market sentiment. The sentiment was, oh yeah, that was the little crash. Another one is coming. You better watch out. Another one is coming. A bigger one is coming. A bigger one is coming. Right. And before the next market crash came, it was 2020, 10 years later. So I'm not making that mistake again. 2020 could have been our big correction. 2020 could have been the one that hurt us. And you could be sitting in the middle of the next bull market looking back because you got post traumatic stress syndrome, PTSD. Same thing with the housing market. Everybody's wondering, when is the next housing market crash going to happen? Don't realize that the last housing market crash before 2008, when was it? Before 2008, when was the last housing market crash?
It had to be what, in the 90s?
No. Mm-mm. The last major one,
No.
of course, was 1929 when we had the
Oh.
yeah, but we had a little small one in the 80s where housing got a little crazy. But you're talking about, in my lifetime, there has been possibly two housing crashes, and I'm 36 years old. So we just saw one happen in 2008, and people are thinking like, "Oh my God, it's about to happen again. When is it going to happen again?" So I have so many buddies that didn't invest. They haven't invested in the last 6, 7 years. You know, I mean, they're millionaires already anyway, but they haven't because they were scared to lose their cash and they was waiting on the next market crash and stuff like that or whatever. And when market crashes happen, when we come out of market crashes, the sentiment is never like, guys, we're in a bull market now. Let's jump in, let's just ride the bull. No, the whole time while the market is up, everybody's wondering for when is the crash going to go? When is the crash going to go? When is the crash going to go? Right? So I'm not going to sit here. I'm telling you, the bear will win the war. The bear will win the battle. The bear will be right. Every couple of years, the bear will be right. But the bull will always win. Stocks are designed to go up over time. I'm not going to play that game on a crash. Even though I know it's going to happen, it's like this. You was a football player, right?
Mm.
What position you played?
Corner.
Okay, you was a cornerback. So a quarterback, every time he can't throw the deep ball. He barely throws the deep ball, right? Every 10 plays, he throws a deep ball. And you got somebody running a go route, or you see them, you playing cornerback. Why in the heck would you be playing for the deep ball?
Exactly. You don't play for the deep ball. Pretty much, motherfucker can be able to put 8 in the box.
Exactly. You're like, you know what? Hey, a deep ball will come. We know eventually it will come. But in the meanwhile, people are going to be eating up on these little short plays that the quarterback likes to do. That may be a horrible thought process, but that's what I meant to say by that. That so many people are planning for the bear. The bear comes out every once a year or whatever, right? I mean, once every 3 to 5 years or 10 years. So when '08 happened, instead of me putting my whole life savings in '08, right? I was sitting back waiting for the next crash. I'm thinking I'm putting a little bit here, a little bit there. Oh, they said, oh, when President Obama wins, he's going to crash the market. Oh, President Obama going for his second term, he's going to crash the market. Oh my God, Donald Trump is going to win. He's going to crash the market. Oh my God, Donald Trump is going to get a re-election. And it wasn't until a pandemic came almost a decade later. So now how dumb do I look? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, it's definitely hard. It's definitely hard trying to time the market,
See,
man. That's why,
but think about a real deal. When you look back on a chart, it's easy to look at a chart and say, yes, March of 2020 was a great time to buy. November of 08 was a great time to buy. But when you are in the middle of the battle, when the market is hitting all-time highs, people are always waiting on the crash. And the crash will come. It will come. It will happen. But I would be a fool to sit here and be now, if I could time it, that would be great. If I knew exactly when it was going to happen, that'd be great. But if I know out of 10 years, you're going to have 2 bad years, I would be a fool to sit here. And somebody told you, hey man, pack up an umbrella. Are you going to pack up an umbrella with a 20% chance of raining? Probably not. You be like, oh, the rain catch me off guard. I'll just deal with it. Right. But that's how I look at it. I look at it as that I'm a long-term person for the most part. And historically, you look over the market, you see the people that buy and hold and the people that buy consistently and hold consistently over time, they win. The market is designed to go up. So will it crash? Yes. And when because you first, this how it happens in finance. You'll have the people that get on TV and be like, the market's going to crash, it's going to crash, it's going to crash. And let's say as soon as it crashed in 2022, right? As soon as it crashes in 2022, they are going to go out and say that they're a genius. No, you're not. I don't know nothing about Las Vegas. I mean, I've been there a couple of times, but if I keep saying I know it's in the middle of the desert, if I keep telling you real deal, it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. Eventually, one day it's gonna rain. And then I come out and say, yeah, I told you it's gonna rain. Now, how often does it rain in Las Vegas? So
it was literally 105.
Yeah. So how often in a year time in Las Vegas, how often does it rain?
Once or twice.
So
once or twice.
So why would I be sitting up here planning on the rain and I live in Las Vegas?
Exactly. You'll be waiting so long that you're pretty much you done burnt yourself out.
Oh yeah.
Waiting for that day to come.
Waiting for that day. And that's what I did I really just got started investing in 08, really was getting interested. 2010, I started to get a little bit more interested. 2009, I started to take things in my own hand and start to invest or whatever. And throughout that whole 10-year bull market we just experienced, from 08 being the bottom, we started to dig out around about 2009, 2010. Throughout that whole time, right? Everybody was waiting on the next crash. That's everybody talked about was, the crash. Nobody said, oh, we're having a good time in the stock market. Everybody kept talking about the sentiment that was going on at that time was the next crash in the housing market. And people were scared to buy houses because they thought it was going to happen again, and interest rates and this and that or whatever. Right? I know something is going to happen, but I'm not going to sit here and waste my freaking time trying to worry about the day that it's going to rain and I live in Las Vegas. So as a young man, I would say ride that bull. I wish somebody had told me that at 25 back in 2008. I think I was about 23, 24 at the time, 2008. And I wish somebody I wish I'd have had me. That's what I'd have told me back then. Put everything in, ride the bull. But at that time, we had a war going in Iraq because I was in Iraq in 2008. We had a war in Iraq. We had a war in Afghanistan. We had gas prices through the roof. We had unemployment going up through the roof. We had all the banks filing bankruptcy, right? So I really thought it was the end of the world. I'm like, oh man, this is probably going to be the end of the world. The economy is going to crap. And the whole time I didn't know that, hey, this could be the start of the new bull market. Why don't you realize, or what made people think that 2020 wasn't that big dip that we need, and now we're off into the start of a new bull market?
I don't know, man. A lot of phobias, a lot of uncertainty. Um, because I think I saw some news article and it said Janet Yellen is talking about that the United States is going to default. I don't even know how real or true that is, but default in October because we can't raise the debt ceiling. So,
I gotta look into that. They might be talking about the budget, talking about balancing the budget. They're probably trying to get a new budget approved to raise the debt ceiling. So we went through this jargon with Obama. We went through it with Trump. We're going through it again where they're trying to raise the debt ceiling. If we don't raise the debt ceiling, we're going to have to furlough all federal workers. We're going to have to stop paying the military. We're going to have to stop paying people. Then they're going to talk about, we got people in war in Afghanistan that need to be paid that we can't pay if you don't raise the debt. So come on. Political ties. 1 second. Here's Valerie Alexander. How you doing, Miss Valerie? Truffle and Clove? Oh, those sound like marijuana companies.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in, Miss. I think I've seen Clove before. He said, yes, the market crashed. He said, yes, the market can crash, but I don't worry about it. I buy stocks in crypto and trade options. One day, it'll do it. Well, one day I'll do it for full time. Okay, cool. On Papa Thought. And Joe Davis, I think he's pointing up. I think that is, or is he flipping me off? I'm not sure. But anyway, real deal.
I emailed you with my personal man. So
okay,
definitely would love to interview you. I appreciate everything that you do, and thank you for allowing me to come up.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Because I got to get out of here and get running myself. So definitely, nice chatting with you tonight. Right. Be in contact. All right.
All right, man.
All right, cool. All right, there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages. This is the Investor Show. My name is Prince Dykes. Oh, Rome said pointing up. Okay, Rome, thank you for letting me know. I said, man, I don't know if Joe likes the show or not. I don't know if he's flipping me off or pointing up, but a good thing he's pointing up. Appreciate clarifying that, Rome. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what my name is. My name is Prince Dykes. Hopefully y'all got something out of this. Thanks to Real Deal for calling in from Las Vegas. Thanks for everybody that's tuned in throughout the whole night. But I got to get going. My name is Prince Dykes. We're here live on YouTube and Twitch. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Make sure you check out that Wesley Learns book series. Wesley Learns to Invest. Wesley learns about credit, and Wesley learns about insurance. Available hardcover, paperback, ebook, everywhere across the globe. All right. Let me see what y'all saying. Max B said, good night, OG. Remember, the Bulls always win. That's what I'm talking about. Damn, I hit the wrong button. All right, here we go. I mean, hit my June button, hit my heel to the null button. Okay, Joyce said, we love you. We love you too, Miss Joyce. We love you. We love you too. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Give her a round of applause for that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages, my name is Prince Dykes. This is the Investor Show. And until the next video podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy y'all see me do around the globe, peace, be safe. I'm out, and thank you.